Hi, this is Ivy from Gypsy Road. Today we are looking at Memoria Press's traditional logic sets as part of the Homeschool Review Crew. We are going to look at both Set 1 and Set 2. Set 1 comes with these pieces. It comes with the textbook, the workbook, the quizzes and test, the teacher key, and a DVD. And let's start with the textbook. In the textbook, we're covering apprehensions, propositions, syllogisms, and then we have an introduction and a review. Now, if you're like me and you're not sure what a syllogism is, they have provided a handy glossary. And we can see that a syllogism is an argument in which a conclusion is drawn from two premises, which both share a common term that does not occur in the conclusion. Okay. We can also go to the introduction and put it in layman's terms. So you might say all books are boring and this is a book. And make the judgment, okay, if all books are boring and this is a book, then this book is boring. That's a deductive inference. And that's just a form of what we're going to be learning. This is logic. The mental act is the deductive inference. The verbal expression is the syllogism. So if you decide that because all books are boring and this is a book, which makes this book boring, and then you say it out loud, then you've got a syllogism. Fortunately for me, this class comes with a DVD course. And I am going to, at the end of this review, put up some clips from that DVD course so that you can see how it is led and how it is going to be a wonderful tool for all you mamas who have never taken logic to help teach your students and maybe learn a thing or two at the same time. The book is broken down. It's really easy to follow. I like the way that it's broken down. My son is having a great time learning from it. There's a note to the teacher in the front that you can read about. And it's set up with these small sections. Here's the introduction, the history of logic, the two main branches of logic, truth, validity, and soundness, the components of an argument, terms, propositions, syllogisms, and a summary. You can see how short these sections are, and that's going to be important because in the student workbook, it breaks it down day by day. Day 1, read the entire chapter. You can kind of skim through it if you want on day 1 and try and get the idea of what it's about. Then go back and reread the history of logic, the two main branches of logic. Those are those two small sections that were, about half a page each, and answer some questions. Day 1 is the longest day here. Day 2, go back and reread these sections. Answer some questions. Day 3, reread these sections and answer some questions. Day 4, reread these sections, answer some questions. And day 5, which is our Friday, he has not taken the test yet. Oh, he has taken the test. I need to grade it. And on day 5, go through and take the test to review and see how much you remember. I love that. I love that it's broken down into bite-sized chunks that are laid out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because he knows exactly what he needs to do and can take responsibility for his work. And I have my handy-dandy teacher key. Being that I've never taken logic before, this is all brand new, and so I can't just look at it like for math and grade it off the top of my head. Fortunately, it's laid out just like the workbook, only it's got the answers. And at the back also is the quiz key. And there's the quiz. And actually, I'm going to bookmark this right now while I've got it open. Whoops. Well, I'm going to set it off to the side so that I remember to grade his quiz. This is a great course for high school students who are interested in things like debate or who just want to go a little bit deeper, who are very verbal, who like English class, who like, those deeper thinking classes. My son is a natural born lawyer. Most kids are to some degree. this one takes it to a whole nother level. And so, since he's interested in this, that's wonderful. We're completing Traditional Logic 1 this year. Next year, he will be starting Traditional Logic 2. It has all of the same pieces as Traditional Logic 1. But inside the course itself, we can see that it focuses primarily on syllogisms. Again, this is not my thing. So I am so happy that it comes with a DVD course that I can kind of listen to in the background and figure out what he's studying. It also comes with my handy dandy teacher key. I can't lose that. But as we go through the classes, let's see, hypothetical syllogisms, conjunctive syllogisms. It's got a quote at the top, and this is set up just like the first book. It tells us important things that we need to remember down the side of the page. It's got our vocabulary words and important things that they need to focus on in bold print. There are, graphs and charts and tables throughout the book. There are things pulled out that they can really focus on. It's not just a dry text. I mean, it looks kind of dry to me, but he gets a good laugh out of it, and that's good. Conjunctive syllogisms. There's a nice table there. We can follow that and see whether our syllogism is valid or invalid. As you can see, we're nowhere near being ready for Traditional Logic 2, and Mom has a lot to learn before we get there. But, he enjoys practicing his logic and what he's learning from logic in his discussions with his parents, which leads us to great conversations on character and when we can and cannot argue, and who we can and cannot argue with. Either way, I'm really thankful to the Homeschool Review crew and to Memoria Press, whose stuff we just love. As you can see, we've got Virgil's Aeneid set out here. We're getting ready to start that. So we love Memoria Press for multiple subjects. But I'm very grateful to them for allowing us to look at the Traditional Logic set and to use it in our schoolroom. Stay tuned, and we're going to bring you some clips from those DVD sets that you can see how they're set up. Thanks for watching.
Talk about the two branches of logic, first of all, as you see in slide I2. We're going to talk about the three important terms. We're going to talk about the structure of arguments, and we're going to talk about the three acts of the mind, and whose premises are true and whose reasoning is valid. And so it is the more all-encompassing term. If an argument is sound, then it's complete, it's perfect. It is both true, it contains both true statements, and is a valid way of arguing. Let's move on to the components of an argument. You just see in slide I5 an argument there, which is the first argument that any logic student in formal logic has traditionally encountered. You'll see there are three statements. All men are mortal. You'll see in slide I5. Socrates is a man. Therefore, Socrates is mortal. Now, the three components of this argument are premise 1, all men are mortal. Premise 2, Socrates is a man. And the conclusion, therefore, Socrates is mortal. Now, if we applied our three terms to this, we would ask, in regard to truth, is the statement all men are mortal true? Is the statement Socrates is a man true? And is the concluding statement Socrates is mortal true? That just means, do they correspond with reality? When we ask the question of validity, we will ask, do the premises, all men are mortal, premise 1, and Socrates is a man, premise 2, from those can we conclude that the statement Socrates is mortal follows from them? Does it if statements 1 and 2 are true, premises 1 and 2, if they're true, does the statement Socrates is mortal, does that truth necessarily follow? Now, it just so happens that in this argument it does.